Good evening and welcome to Bods, Crabcakes, and Sports. Jason here with John here for week 7 of the NFL season. We're going to discuss any updates to the games today. We're going to go over some the Ravens on their bye week again, check in, see how things are going. Also preview the Ravens and the Bears game coming up, and also dabble a little into the Orioles and play a few games. John, we are Mikeless today. Mike has some family events going on today, so he cannot make it. So it's just you and I. But before we do anything else, John, I have some information I need to know. So Mike and I were talking last show, and I never got an answer. When you sell a car and you drive that car and drop it off to someone, how do you get home? Do you walk? Do you hitchhike? Do you Uber? And is it all on your dime? How does it work?
So no, we don't actually generally deliver cars unless it's like in town. They have these like retired guys who go and they just deliver the cars. So they bring a car and then chase it with another car, and then they all drive home in that one car. So I had to drive to Oviedo. I don't know, Oviedo's it's near University of Central Florida. It's on like the northeast side of Orlando. And I had to.
So we were just there. My wife and daughter were just there this weekend for.
Oh, at St. Luke's. At St. Luke's.
I thought it was Oviedo, not Oviedo.
Yeah, actually, my friend. Well, you know the Zeros. My friends, they were there on Vicarage, probably 15 years ago or so. But yeah, so I had to go all the way out there, and then there's like a 2-hour drive there, and then an hour and 20-minute drive back, and to drop off a mat, and it was the wrong mat, so I gotta figure that out. So that wasn't good. But yeah, usually it's just a chase car, and they'll pay for an Uber if there's nobody else to pick you up. But don't do that.
Oh man, that is just one of life's mysteries we could not figure out. We were taking bets. Mike was letting everyone know if they saw you on the side of the road to be kind and pick you up. I, on the other hand, was saying you shouldn't talk to strangers, so certainly don't do that. That's a terrible idea.
Yeah, except for the fact that, you call an Uber and you get in a car with a stranger. So, it's kind of a weird thing, weird phenomenon. So
my wife years ago, I probably shouldn't be saying this because it's terrible. It's terrible for that parenting. But my wife years ago, like if she was running late or something, or like we had the little ones and the older ones were in high school, she would call them an Uber to pick them up from school or to take them to school. And they're like 16 years old or 15 years old at the time. Looking back on it, I'm like, that is a terrible idea. Like, what were we thinking? Like, that's like mass murder type stuff. We'll never see the children again.
Yeah, there's a lot of that goes on. A lot of there's Uber Teen now and all this other stuff. Yeah, nice. Yeah. I hear a lot of changes coming to Uber, thanks to some of the things going on with 3-letter organizations within the federal government.
I see. All right. Yes. Well, in fear of getting into some sort of political-based conversation, we digress. So so moving forward here, I guess we could talk about the Ravens a little bit just to kick things off. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of information coming out of the castle other than, it seems like Mike and I discussed last time, like they were practicing last week, practicing this past week and next week instead of giving them any time off, which I know they said it fell in a weird thing. It was because they needed to make some changes and get some things done. Like, you're not fooling anybody or pulling the wool over anybody's eyes here. So Mike and I, John, I don't know how much of the last show or if you listened to the last show, but we were very optimistic of the Ravens coming out of the bye. I told Mike I was going to wait on a prediction. Not only do I think that they're going to go on a run, and like I said, it might look like 9, 10, 11 game win streak, something along those lines, because I think they're capable of it. It just depends on the offensive line and defense. I think they actually beat the Bears by double digits. That is my prediction. Now, I could be way off base. But the Bears played today, and I mean they did all right. They struggled a little bit, I believe, with the Saints in spurts today, but they did end up winning when it counted there. So I don't know your thoughts, John, but like Mike and I, like I said, we still have hope that they're going to turn things around just based on having a Hall of Fame quarterback in my mind and Hall of Fame running back, potentially Hall of Fame head coach. So, I mean, it's kind of do or die, though.
Yeah, and I think, and we talked about this. We talked about this, for the last couple of weeks. Is a lot of it is just getting healthy. It's just getting the full team onto the field and being able to work together as a full team. And you're not, putting in pieces and just trying to put together enough guys out there to complete the game. And I think bringing Ricard back will be a huge help to this offense because you're adding, another offensive lineman, but he's at a skilled position. So I think that's going to be big. But if we could get this defense, Roquan healthy and getting, Hamilton healthy, and then, giving guys like, Mike Green and some of these other young guys 2 weeks to kind of debrief on what they've gone through for the season, and then also begin to be preparing for the remainder of the season, giving that and letting them, watch tape of themselves and improve and things. And you see the Ravens every year come out of the bye week and just come out, usually very, very strong and ready to go. So I think being healthy is just going to be, you said this a couple weeks ago, the three things you're looking for in the second half of the season or after the bye week is health, health, health. So I think that's going to be the big thing is if we can get healthy, everybody's on the field, I think that they'll figure things out and go on along.
Yeah, right. Because, I mean, you're not only getting – so I don't want to say you have everyone back from that played the Buffalo game, which obviously is when they put up 40-plus points. But because you're out – Matabike is gone for the year. But all those other guys on defense should be there. And it's – to me, it's the pass rush as well. Now, the interior pass rush, the edge pass rush, and the guys in the secondary being able to hold long enough for them to be able to get to the quarterback as well. So they work hand in hand, obviously. You have to get to the quarterback, but also so that you can give your corners enough time, and the corners and the secondary have to hold as long as possible. If they can work that out, and I mean, they don't need to, I think if they can keep teams under 20, 23 points, they're going to win the majority of these games coming up. I mean, the schedule's there for them. I mean, Chicago, Minnesota, Miami. Miami's probably going to lose their coach this week, probably tomorrow. I mean, and then the Jets later. I mean, there's a lot of winnable games here that by the time you blink, they're back to 5-5. And now you're like, okay, great. Now we have everything ahead of us. Now, the offensive line for me is a big deal. And Mike has said this as well, that it's with the changes that they made. I mean, everyone has regressed. And your boy, Daniel Falele, he is testing out right now as the best offensive lineman on that field right now. And I know that's going to hurt you deep, but it's one of those things where now run blocking, no. But pass block, he's one of the best pass blockers on the field for them. So hopefully over this next week or this past week and this week, they're able to gel a little bit and figure out the issues that they have on the line as well.
Right. And then the thing that we got to remember is you're getting a mobile quarterback straight out of the bye week. So, they're going to have to be prepared then for Caleb Williams and then, whatever the Jets throw at them, and then Tua. And so you're getting a couple straight weeks, and not so much in Minnesota. I mean, you don't know I think you're going to get Carson Wentz in Minnesota. I don't think you're getting J.J. McCarthy. I think he's out. I don't remember how long he's out, but I think they put him on the injury reserve, so he can't come back till later. So your next 5 games, 3 of them you're going to be getting running quarterbacks and things. So they're going to have to account for that as well. So I'm hoping that this defensive line really starts getting something. And I'm kind of surprised that we haven't brought in an interior lineman or tried to make a move for an interior lineman. But, I said this a couple months ago. The guy that I wish we had hung on to was Calais Campbell, because he made a lot of big plays. He's a big guy. And he's a veteran, and he's a good leader. It was a good leader when he was in. I just think I got told.
Yeah, I mean he could be had too, John. If the Ravens come out and they beat the Bears, I look for them to still make a deal or two before the deadline, like a Calais Campbell, like a Zeitler, somebody like that on teams that aren't going anywhere, that they could trade later picks to bring in. You solidify your trenches, your defensive end. Just to correct you there, so McCarthy was actually the emergency quarterback today, so he should be back by the time the Ravens play the Vikings, because they
Oh, I hadn't seen that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know Carson Wentz kept them in the game and whatnot, but I would much rather be facing Carson Wentz than McCarthy, I think, because he can get outside the pocket and cause some issues. But I'm telling you, I'm not convinced. I thought Minnesota was going to be a lot better. They'd be a lot better with Sam Darnold, I think, at least personally. So,
yeah, I'll be at that game. I'm going to Minnesota. I'm going to Minnesota 2 weeks from this Saturday. I'm going the Saturday before, and then I'll go to the game, and I'll be back to be on the show on Sunday.
Yeah, I think that they. If they beat Chicago, they have to be the favorites going into Minnesota. We'll see how that goes. But they again, just to kind of break down. The Chicago has some pretty good wide receivers, very young quarterback. If you give him all day long to pass and to sit back there, he's going to be successful. And then their defense isn't too shabby either. They can cause some issues. But New Orleans is not a very good football team, and they gave them a little trouble today. So I'm not at all – I don't want to say I'm not at all worried, because something could come out all of a sudden that Lamar's not playing again. If Lamar doesn't play, we're right back to where we were. So I do think that they win by double digits, John. But we'll have at least another show to discuss that before we get there. All right.
Absolutely.
Are you there?
And do you think Huntley? We're off sync here. Something. Are you? I'm under the thought that they're probably better off if Lamar can't go, and I'm not. I haven't read anything he can't, but I'm thinking they're better off with Huntley under center than Cooper Rush.
You mean if Lamar can't go?
If he can't go, yes.
Oh, because
as the backup instead of Cooper Rush.
John, yeah, well, the way that I just heard what you said was they're better off if Lamar can't go, and they're just going to go with Huntley. I'm like, what? Are you drinking already? It's okay.
No. If Lamar is still hurt,
I would.
If he's still hurt,
I would go with Huntley. Yeah, Huntley. I would go with Huntley at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. But you got to remember, Huntley, though, is new to this offense, where Cooper Rush has had, and obviously his athleticism and skill set fits this much better than Rush does. But Huntley, I think, is still, because he had a different offensive coordinator when he went to the Pro Bowl a couple of years back. So, there's that. But I think everything I've read, Lamar should be good to go. I'm not worried about that.
You just know how the NFL is with setbacks and whatever. And I'm not convinced that if the Ravens lose that he's going to be back out there. He tends to not want to play when the Ravens aren't doing well. That's just kind of an observation over the years.
Or he's got to take a poop.
Oh, yeah. He still won that game, though.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. All right. So just to kind of run down here, let's see. What do we have next here? Oh, man. So, yeah, we'll okay, good. So according to our show sheet, we are going to do the rundown. So you have some questions for me, for Mike, apparently?
Yes, I do. Okay. So here's the first question. Is Shohei Ohtani the best player we will see in our lifetime?
Ooh. I'm going to say yes. And the funny thing is, if he wasn't a pitcher, I'd say Barry Bonds was the best player that I've seen in my lifetime, hands down. Steroids,
right.
No steroids, whatever you want to say. But yes, because of the fact that he pitches, and he's the best athlete to ever play baseball. that I've seen. So,
Well, look at this. 26 men have hit 3 home runs in a playoff game. 13 have thrown 6 shutout innings with 2 hits or less. Shohei Ohtani has done all of them with 10 and 10. What is it? I think it's like 18 have done 10 strikeouts. So Shohei is in that list 3 times for home runs, and I mean that's just unbelievable. Just
it is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
Whatever they feed him in sushi or raw fish or whatever it was, maybe we should start doing that.
Oh my God! Just because he's Japanese, John, doesn't mean he eats sushi all the time. I'm American. I don't eat hamburgers every day. What's the matter with you?
All right. Second one. The Chiefs are back. For real.
Absolutely. They were back right before they beat the crap out of the Ravens. They needed to. So Mahomes is actually right now, I think he's the top quarterback in fantasy football so far this year, which also translates to real football. He is the real deal again. He never wasn't. He just talk about doing a lot with a little. Like they were in shambles receiver wise, offensive line was a little rough over the last couple of years, and now it's all together. And the NFL better watch out. I mean, the AFC West has gotten really good. There's some really good teams in that division, minus the Raiders. So I don't know how that's going to pan out, but no one's going to want to play the Chiefs. And I think the Chiefs will be the favorite coming out of the AFC.
All right. I would have to agree with all that. Okay. Maryland quarterback Malik Washington will transfer to a quote unquote D1 football program after the season.
I think it depends on who the coach is. If it's Loxley, I would probably say yes. Although I mean they've lost 3 straight games now. If they could get who were we talking about last week? The Penn State head coach. They used to be on the staff. Yeah, if they could get him in here, and if that's who he wants to play quarterback, then he can give him the sales pitch. But again, they did change They did change transfer rules a little bit with football and basketball. So I don't know if that's going to do it or not. But if Maryland flounders, misses a bowl game, I think you'll see him leave.
The Dodgers will steamroll the Mariners or the Blue Jays no matter who advances.
No, I don't think they'll steamroll them. They might win in 5 games. They might win in 6 or 7 games. They might not win at all. So I was looking earlier before the playoffs started, and I was trying to find a team to bet on, something that I thought would pay off, whatever. So what I always do when baseball starts is every year, since they've changed these wild card rules, one of the teams that play in the first round, they always end up making it to the World Series. And for me, I was like, I think it's going to be the Padres. I think they're going to get hot. So I put $5 or something down on them and make a run. Should have been the Dodgers because they just have blown through everybody. But the matchups for them have also been pretty good. Like the Brewers are a good team, but they remind me of like the 2023 Orioles, where they came out and they played well all season long. You won over 100 games, whatever the case may be, and they were set up. But in short series, I'll take the Dodgers all day long. And I think the Mariners in a short series could give them trouble. They can hit, but they can also pitch. So I think 6 or 7 games. If the Blue Jays get through, I think they don't win as many games as the Mariners would.
Okay. Next one. The Orioles will have a manager by the end of the month.
Yes. If not the end of the month, within like a day or two after. Last year, if you look at when all the managers signed, it happened between Halloween and like the first week of November. So I would expect them to have a manager. I mean, we don't know who all they've interviewed so far. We know one guy's got an interview, but that's what's been leaked. So we'll see. But yes, my prediction is by the end of the month, they will have a manager.
The Bucks-Lions game is an NFC Championship game preview.
I mean, I don't think so. I'm not convinced. They're both playing very well. The Lions just came off a loss. Baker's playing out of his mind. He's the favorite for the MVP. And I do think that they're going to continue to play well. Especially he's playing well being down all these offensive weapons. But I still, I mean, this might not be very popular. I still like the 49ers. I still think that they're going to have something to say about it when it's all said and done, although they did lose one of their best defensive weapons. And then the Eagles, like once they get out of their own way a little more, I think they're going to have something to say about it also. So I'm going to take the field and say, no, that's not the NFC Championship.
Then I don't know if Mike asked this, and this is just me saying something, but let's say the Ravens miss the playoffs and are drafting in the top 10. Is Harbaugh gone and the entire staff gone?
So what's the record look like if it's top 10?
Let's say 6-11.
Yeah, I think with all these guys coming back, barring any say Lamar plays like the next 4 or 5 games, right? I say he loses his job. If they finish, Mike asked me last week, if they finish 8-9, I think Harbaugh stays. I think he stays because I think they can say, it's the injuries, blah, blah, blah. But if this defense doesn't go out, I mean, hey, and listen, everybody, all my Ravens fans out there, listen, Hun, calm down. Careful what you wish for. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. I hate to say this. I don't like to be the type of person that says, well, if you fire him, who are you going to bring in? There isn't anyone out there that I'm like, yep, that's who I want. Like, lose your job and bring this person in. I mean, unless all of a sudden Mike McDonald is going to get traded. Like, no. To answer your question long-windedly, if they pick in the top 10, he loses his job. If they do not, and they make a little bit of a run or whatnot, they'll blame it on the injuries and he'll be back.
I just think that Zach Orr was not the correct choice for this defensive coordinator. We should have picked somebody who was experienced, somebody who really knows, defensive coordinator. Zach Orr, maybe in 5 or 8 years, maybe he's great, but I think that's the guy who's going to take the fall for all this.
Well, let me ask you this, because it's not Zach Orr. Monken might be under more scrutiny than him by the time we're all said and done here, which I think could be a little unfair, but that's a different story. When they chose Zach Orr to be the defensive coordinator, did you feel the same way that you do right now? That you didn't think it was the right pick? Who did you want them to hire at the time? Do you know?
I don't remember who was on the market, but I thought it should have been like a Pagano or somebody like that. I would have much preferred them to bring an experienced guy in like that.
So if you remember what happened, the Ravens lost the AFC Championship to the Chiefs and began the mass exodus of coaches. Anthony Weaver left. The defensive backs coach left. Mike McDonald left and went to Seattle. All these guys took other positions, and they didn't want to lose Zach Orr because at the time they thought he would be a head coach in waiting. And they didn't want, because I think they were hoping that they would win the Super Bowl. John Harbaugh maybe retire. Mike McDonald will then be the next head coach. I think that's secretly what people wanted. But all said and done now, I actually personally thought Zach Orr was the right move. At this point, I'm not so sure. I mean, if they don't get better, and there's not a lot of injuries on the defensive end, the defensive side of the ball. Yeah, they have one game where they missed everyone, but not as much as everywhere else, Mm-mm.
Yeah, I think missing Matabike is a big thing because he's a Pro Bowler in the middle of that defensive line, and losing
he's an
him,
All-Pro.
All-Pro. Yeah, and I think losing him in the middle of the line potentially forever. That's going to have to be where we're putting our focus in the draft and in the offseason is bringing in another stalwart of a defensive tackle of some sort to eat blocks up. Because you just see it. Roquan has had, and whoever's playing middle linebacker has just had problems because we don't have the guys to eat the blocks up, and they're getting into the second. Because if you get your blockers into the second level, well, that's where the running game takes off, and then you're expecting, the defensive backs to tackle guys who outweigh them by 30 pounds. So,
yeah,
that's my 2 cents.
No, I agree with you. I mean, and I do think that's going to be a big point of emphasis for them because, I mean, they have a bunch of guys that are coming up here for contracts. Like, are you going to pay Travis Jones? Because if Matabike is gone, what, you're just going to let him walk? I mean, I don't think it'll be as expensive. And then you have some other decisions to make. One of the things that the Eagles are so good at are drafting in their trenches and building up. No matter who they had defensively, they still drafted more defensive players. They took both those kids, Mitchell and DeJean, last year, threw them at corner, but they also had Carter and, oh man, I can't even remember, and all these other guys. So what does it do for those young corners who are already really good? It gives them pressure. And it goes back to what I was saying. When you have guys getting to the quarterback and causing ruckus in there, it makes your corners so much better, and vice versa. So to me, if they need to do that, like, great. I would love for them to make a run at George Pickens, somebody like that. Bring another weapon in, blah, blah, blah. Build your trenches. Okay, and we'll talk a lot about that. Hopefully not for a very long time because they make a nice run and blah, 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 blah.
Yep. Hopefully.
All right. Was that all the questions on the rundown?
That was all the questions. That's all the questions that I have for you. I even made up one myself.
Fantastic. Well done, John. You delivered those brilliantly. All right. Well, let's give you guys just a quick rundown of how today has gone in the NFL. I was up early this morning watching the game in London. I don't know if you were, John, but who's played? The Rams did defeat the Jaguars 35-7. And just so you know, I'll run down Mike and my picks because I think Mike curb stomped me. Let's go back to Thursday night, which is an awesome game, the Icy Hot Bowl. It was the Steelers and the Bengals. Both Mike and I both picked the Steelers, and we are both very big losers.
I would have picked the Bengals. I was going to pick the Bengals.
Outstanding.
My boy Joe Flacco.
No, stop it. Stop it. All right.
I was going to pull the number 5 jersey out tonight.
Oh, that would have upset me.
Yeah.
I've never been a Joe Flacco fan. I'm very grateful that we got a ring with him, but I am not a Joe Flacco fan. But I was excited the other night. It was a good game. So both Mike and I got that game wrong. Mike got the Rams and the Jaguars this morning.
But did you see these stats? Travis Hunter had 101 yards with a touchdown. Lawrence had 296 and a touchdown. Their defense just stunk.
It was all those. That was all garbage time too. If you watched the game,
I didn't. I was at church.
No, the Rams throttled them early. I mean, Stafford was on early. Devontae Adams had 3 touchdowns, but not a lot of yards, just 3 touchdowns.
Hunter made a nice play. Hunter made a very nice defensive play on Adams. Adams caught it, and Hunter basically just did the peanut punch and knocked the ball out.
Well, so here's something that the stats aren't going to show you. To start the second half, I think it was 21-0. To start the second half, the Jaguars stopped the Rams like 4 or 5 times in a row, 3 and out, and their offense could not get on the board. And I mean, give credit to the Rams defense too. I mean, they're pretty good as well. But yeah, for some reason I picked the Jaguars. I don't know why. I don't even ask me why. So Mike got one on me there. We both picked the Eagles, and the Eagles, they won 28-22 in a much closer game than it probably should have been. But the Eagles did pull that one out at the end and won. And then the Chiefs absolutely curb stomped the Raiders 31-0 today. Again, both Mike and I got both picked the Eagles, and then we both picked the Chiefs as well. And then the other game, the Bears. So the Bears, let's see, let's get you guys a score. This is terrific podcasting. Bears won 26-14 over the Saints. We both did pick the Bears there. We both actually picked the Browns. The Browns, I went with their defense today in fantasy and got well over 25 points as they beat the crap out of the Dolphins, 31-6. As we mentioned, John, I think that's it for their head coach. I think he's done. So let's see. Yep, we both picked that one. The next game on here, the Panthers and the Jets. And we both picked the Panthers in this game. All right.
Yeah, the Jets changed their quarterback halfway through the game.
Oh, that was
Fields just is not good. I think you were fairly high on Fields going into the season, I think.
For fantasy football. And
Yeah.
if you look at his fantasy numbers, he's had 3 games of almost 30 points a game. And then he's had 2 games of like 3 points and 5 points. So I haven't started him for a couple weeks now. And I dropped him actually in a couple leagues. But yes, I don't know if there's a quarterback controversy out there or if it was kind of a reset. But they were in that game until the end. It was 13-6 is what they lost by, and they chose to go with Tyrod Taylor, who also isn't the greatest anymore.
Former Raven.
What's that?
Former Raven.
Former Raven. That is correct. Long-time Raven, actually.
Yeah, he's here a long time.
The next was my survivor pick for this week, so I'm still alive. The Patriots won 31-13 over the Titans. Both Mike and I chose the Patriots. Now the other games I think are still going on. Both Mike and I chose the Denver Broncos, and they are currently losing to the New York Football Giants 13-0 in the third quarter. So that'll be very interesting. I do have Jackson Dart in a Superflex league, and he's playing very well. I also started Denver's defense in another league. So that one will be up for debate here. And then the next one, Mike did go with the Chargers, and I went with the Colts. So I think this one will draw us even here because the Colts are currently winning 31-10, and they can do no wrong right now. The Daniel Jones resurgence is happening, John.
Yes, it is.
Outstanding. All right, I'm just going to circle that I got the Colts because I'm awesome. All right.
And Taylor has 11 carries, 53 yards, and 2 touchdowns so far for the Colts.
Yeah, he's probably the fantasy darling for lots of people this year. And I got him in the second and third round, mainly the third round of all of the past. And he was kind of my hero running back strategy this year. The next game going on right now are the Commanders and the Cowboys. It's at the half. It is 27-15 Cowboys. This one was a tough game for me to pick. And for Mike, Mike went with the Commanders. So it's not over yet. I did go with the Cowboys. So we'll see how that one plays out. And then kind of a surprise going on right now. The Packers are trailing the Cardinals in Arizona 13-6. Now, still plenty of football left, 11 minutes in the third quarter, so we'll see how that plays out. But both of us went with the Packers. And then later this evening, we got the 49ers playing against the Falcons. Both of us have the 49ers. And then tomorrow night, the Lions and the Bucks, which we discussed already. Both of us have the Lions. And then the Seahawks play the Texans, and both of us went with the Seahawks. So that is your rundown for the NFL today. John, is there anything else you wanted to add about any of these games?
No, not really. I watched a little. I went and got a haircut at Sports Clips and watched some of the highlights and things, but nothing. If the Ravens aren't playing, I'll watch them, but not anything religiously. I'll watch it with that six games up there, on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
And
I need to ask. Did you, in Lance Craner true Lance Craner fashion, I would assume you did not get this, but did you get the MVP?
The MVP, I absolutely did. I always get the MVP.
Now and then,
yeah, it's only $5. It's $25 for a haircut.
I'm just saying. I just wasn't sure if you do that or not.
I took Camden there. I don't know. Last time I got a haircut like 6 weeks ago. And he hates going to get a haircut, except there. He's like, I want to go there to get a haircut every time now.
I do need to mention too here one fantasy implication here. Mike and myself are playing each other in our Dynasty League. Dynasty's a little different than the year to year. I'm currently beating him 112.38 to 91.84. He is projected to only get 112 points, and I'm projected to get 170. So, in the words of Joel Lanscraner, I'm going to smoke him like a crack pipe at Marion Barry's house.
I don't think that's appropriate to say at school anymore.
Well, I don't know if it was appropriate to say it there at that time. But it was fantastic, and I'll never forget it. I love it. All right.
You'll have to text me that. I'll have to ask you have to text me that, and I'll ask my dad about that when I go to Minnesota in a couple weeks.
He not only said it once, he used to say it all the time. All the time. During cross-country practice. During, class. It's great. I love it. All right. So we're going to do our first section of ballpark figures tonight. I'm going to John.
Uh-oh.
So,
I'm worried about this, Jason. I was shaken when I saw that you wanted to do this.
Oh, this is outstanding.
Oh.
So I have been on a roll lately of doing all Orioles information for you guys in hopes that it will leak over and I can get some Orioles or some Ravens stuff and not just national stuff. But that's okay.
I have an Orioles list for you tonight, Jason.
Oh, fantastic. Hopefully it's not the same one I have.
Okay, I hope not.
So I need to know, John, the top 10 all-time postseason home run leaders for the Orioles. And just to kind of give you a heads up, 10 and 11 are tied. So you can give me either name or both names. It doesn't matter.
So let's start with Cal.
Ooh, bad start. Strike.
Oh, he's not on the list?
He is not on the list.
So,
now,
okay.
He is second all-time in hits, though.
Right. No, I know. I listened to this show the other day. Okay, so let's go with Frank Robinson.
He's number one with 9.
Boog.
Boog is number 4 with 6. Actually, he's tied second with 6.
What about? Yeah, well, I know Mark Belanger was on the other list, so I'm going to put him in my back pocket. So what about Brooks?
Brooks Robinson is number 6. Yes, and that is with 5.
So Eddie Murray.
Eddie Murray. Let's see, where is he on this list? Eddie Murray's number 3. Well, I guess tied for second with 6.
Let's see. Is Brady Anderson on this list?
Is that a guess?
Yes, Brady Anderson.
Yes, he is number 2 with 6. But he did it in only 19 games.
Yeah, that was what's running through my head is that I'm like, he had 95 and 96, so 2 seasons. It was only in the playoffs 2 seasons when he was in Baltimore.
Gotcha.
Joe gave us one. I don't think so. I don't think so. So I have what, 1? What about Paul Blair?
Paul Blair. So Paul Blair is one of the guys tied for 10.
Ooh.
With 3.
Rafael Palmeiro.
Ooh, good guess. Number 7 with 4.
What about Chris Davis?
Chris Davis is not on this list. If you remember, in 2014, he was suspended and couldn't play in the playoffs.
Oh, that's right. Shoot.
Strike 2, my friend.
Oh, no. So how many do I have left?
And Joe, you were incorrect. It is not Rick Dempsey, but thank you.
Long-time listener, first-time caller. Thanks, Joe.
Love it. He's not in the top 25, Joe. Just saying that.
So what about Adam Jones?
Ooh, good guess. But
strike 3. Oh, no. Oh,
Adam
no.
Jones did not have his postseasons weren't great. They definitely weren't great power-wise. All right, so let's see if I can help you get through some of these. So you have Frank Robinson at 1. You have Brady Anderson at 2. Eddie Murray tied for 2. Boog Powell also tied for 2. You got Brooks Robinson, correct? You got Rafael Palmeiro. You got Paul Blair. So if you want to get 11, you're missing 1, 2, 3, 4. You're missing 4 guys. One of them is a third baseman.
Manny Machado.
I'm sorry?
Machado.
No.
No.
And this third baseman was only on the Orioles for 1 year.
Oh, Mark
And
Reynolds.
What's that?
Mark Reynolds?
No. Good guess, though. Good guess. Back in the 90s, it was the 96 team. He was one of the guys.
Let's see. Who was here? Oh,
He was one of the guys they brought over with the Pete Incaviglia trade.
It wasn't Todd Zeal.
It was Todd Zeal.
It was Todd
Zeal.
Zeal.
It was Todd
He was
Zeal.
a catcher. He was a catcher too.
Well, that was a long time ago. So Todd Zeal, 9 games, hit 3 home runs for the Orioles.
Oh man.
All right. The next guy is everybody's favorite. Went to the University of North Carolina, played lacrosse as well. It's one of my favorite guys because his son's autistic, and he does a lot of stuff for the autistic community.
Oh. University of North Carolina. I don't know. That doesn't help me.
No? Left-handed hitter, played the infield. He came up as a catcher. He was drafted as a catcher, the top of the draft. For the Brewers.
Oh, BJ Surhoff.
You got it. BJ Surhoff's number 9. The other fella was on the 96 team. He came over in a trade at the trade deadline.
Albert Bell.
In 95.
No, not Albert Bell.
He was one of the guys that pushed Cal out of the dugout.
Oh, it was Rafael Palmeiro and oh shoot, I can see him.
Longtime Pirate, longtime Met. The Mets are still paying him. Won a ring with the
Oh,
Marlins.
Bobby Bonilla. Bobby
You
Bonilla.
got it. Yep.
Oh man.
One guy left, and this is a guy Mike couldn't get last week.
Mark Belanger.
No, Mark Belanger.
Buford. Buford.
Yep, Don Buford. Don
Yeah.
Buford in 22 games, 5 ding dongs. So just to run down this list for you all, it disappeared and I'm never getting it back. Where'd it go? Oh my goodness. Hold on. Well,
All right,
anyway,
Jason.
listen to the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I mean, not a ton of postseason games. Like I said, Frank Robinson had 30. That's like the most. Him and Brooks, right around
And Boog.
there. And Boog was on a bunch as well. So, but no, these are fun. Now we are breaking up ours, mine and yours. So in between this, I did just want to touch on the O's a little bit. There's not a whole lot going on right now. I really want, I'm personally, John, I want the World Series to be over because I want the rebuilding process to start. When I say rebuilding, I'm more along the lines, think of reloading, because look what the Blue Jays did. The Blue Jays sold off at the trade deadline last year, put themselves in a really good position, made some moves during the offseason. Now, their signing of Santander didn't help, and he's not even on the World Series roster anymore because of his injury. So, I mean, the ALCS roster. So, it's the Cubs. They sold off at the deadline last year, and then they made it to the playoffs. You can do these 1-year turnarounds, and they have the talent to do it. And I'm really curious to see, like Mike and I were talking about knowing the needs that they have, and it's going to be based for me on who the manager is and what type of style he wants to play. Is it going to be a guy coming from the National League that plays a little more small, or is it going to be a guy that doesn't care about small ball and just wants to be like Buck and these guys that don't believe in bunting and they just want to hit the 3-run homer and all of that? I don't know. I will tell you
Right.
what they need to do is make sure that their defense is top notch. So whoever they
Right.
bring in as a manager, that needs to be emphasized.
Well, and I think whoever the manager is also is going to play into who they bring in the offseason, right? Because like you just said, if you bring a Buck style guy in, then you need some guys with big bats who don't get hurt. Whereas like you brought O'Neill in, who's a big bat, but the guy can't stay on the field more than 60 games out of a year. So that was a bonehead decision. But if you bring a Buck guy in, then your offseason changes. Then if you bring like a more small ball type guy, I mean, we got the speed on the team now that you could go either direction. It's just going to be a matter of, okay, what are you going to do with your free agents to go this way or go that way? Because you could, in theory, have 2 or 3 2020, 30 guys on this roster. 30 homers, 30 steals, 20 homers, 20 steals. You could, in theory, have 3 or 4 of these guys on the roster, but it's going to be just the sooner we can get a manager in here, the sooner we can, you and Mike and I, and then the rest of the Orioles and analysts can say, okay, this is the way that they're going to need to go. These are the players we're going to need to grab out of free agency. This is who we need to unload. This is who we need to trade. This is who we need to do this, that, and the other for. And then, again, the starting pitching then is going to be these guys coming back off the injuries. Can Rogers keep his Cy Young, caliber performance going next year? Can we keep that stuff up as well to go along with whatever we need to get offensively and defensively in the offseason? And I still think we need to bring in a top-line starter, and we're going to need to find somebody for the back end of the bullpen as well, because Bautista's not going to be around for another probably year or two if he can even ever come back.
Yeah. I mean, so for me, it's signing a top-of-the-line starter, or maybe getting one in a trade. I don't see anyone out there that has top of the line starters that they're going to trade. Just off the top of my head, I don't. So it's going to be signing one of these free agent guys and locking him up, whether it's Valdez, whether it's I can't think of the other guys off the top of my head right now, but getting at least one, and then a guy to pitch as like a 4 or 5, because I don't think you can count on Grayson to come back. Like you have to move forward without that. And if he comes back, terrific, because I do think, and then slot him in a 3 or a 4, and then I think in a perfect world, Kramer is your number 5 starter. And then you went out and you got 1 or 2 other pitchers. Mike and I are very high on Williams from the Yankees to be our closer next year. And I've heard that name around from a lot of the Orioles beat guys. And he's not going to be that expensive. But to me, that would be my main target if I was the Orioles, to try to bring in that closer. And then I think you can do things. You can put Wells in the bullpen. I know that they talked about making him a starter again, but like if you went out and you spent the money on the starter, right, then it just makes everybody else expendable. And I think that's what they need to do. Bat-wise, John, I know you heard Mike and I talked about, like for me, Stephen Kwan, if you're going to trade, like that'd be a great guy to put towards top of your lineup. Put him in there. He could hit anywhere from 1 to 4, 1 to 3, theoretically. But you still need that big bat. And I keep hearing Byron Buxton's name around, and I don't want anything to do. Like, yeah, he had a great year. He's had some really good years too. I mean, but talk about injuries again. This was the first year he wasn't injured in the last 5 years. So that's another O'Neill type move for me. And I do think Tyler O'Neill will rebound for them. But I don't know what you expect. Or maybe they trade him along with a Mayo to get somebody else. But you're right, and this is kind of why I wanted to bring this up. There's all kinds of options, but it is going to depend on the leadership on the field and what direction they want to go. And right now, we only know that they talked to one guy. So we'll see how all that plays out. Have you heard anything different?
I have not. And I'm looking here at the list of starting pitchers. Chris Sale, 37, club option. Dylan Cease, Framber Valdez, Ranger Suarez. Then Flaherty and Peralta both have opt-outs. Nick Martinez, Chris Bassett, Michael King option. Shota Imanaga has an option. And then Zach Gallen. And then below that, it's just a bunch of old guys like Verlander, Kyle Hendricks, guys like that. You always mention this. Orioles do stuff like bring Chris Sale in for a year at 38. He'll be 38 this year. We can't be doing that. You can't bring in
Chris
but he's a
Sale's
good but for a 1 year but at 1 year, then that's the Corbin Burns thing that burned us.
Well, but he might be a free agent. I mean, I think the Braves probably pick up his option depending on what they're doing and who they're gonna. But I mean, they may pick up their option. The one for me off that list, like Michael King, is the most intriguing. But he's got
a mutual option. I don't know what that means, but a mutual option.
I think it means I don't think one can pick it up. I think they both have to come to an agreement. If it's mutual. Sometimes it's player, sometimes it's club, or it's mutual. And they've been having some money issues since their owner died. And I don't know if they will let him leave. They may just do the option. However, if he's available, to me, he's one of your top targets. Dylan Cease, off the top of my head, I think I want Dylan Cease than Valdez. And maybe a change of scenery for him. I mean, he's been kind of up and down, but I think I'd take that talent. And then the last one for me was, King, Cease. Who else did you say on that list? Valdez and who else? So I have it.
Valdez, Suarez, Flaherty, Peralta, Nick Martinez, Chris Bassett, Michael King, Zach Gallen, Muriel Kelly.
Zach Gallen.
Yeah, Zach Gallen. That's the guy that I would like. Well, and how about this? Just throwing this out here. What about freaking Trevor Bauer?
Are you being for real right now?
Huh?
Are you being for real?
Yes. The guy will be cheap. He wants to freaking play in the major league.
He's been wanting to play in the major league since he started running his mouth 4 or 5 years ago. No one is signing this guy. He's a pariah. Nobody wants him on their team, or they would have already brought him in. The Dodgers would have brought him in. The Reds would have brought him in again. If he can still play. Now he's 38 years old? He's got to be put.
Trevor
he's got
Bauer.
Chris Sale's age. 36?
I think he's 30. He's 34. 34. Yeah, he wasn't old. When this stuff all went down, he was only 28.
Yeah, dude. There's a special letter that goes out to all the teams every year when it comes time to sign players with his name on it. Saying, no, thank you. It would be in your best interest, Mr. Owner, to not give this fella a contract. And then all the rich fellas that are sitting around agree. No, sir. No, thank you. Let's put guys that are relevant in baseball. There's a lot of guys on that list that could really help this team. The thing is, I think it's very important that they get one of the top guys. Go get one of the top of the line guys. Then supplement. You want to bring in Chris Bassett? Fine, he can pitch. But he's your 4 or 5 at that point. So I think
the guy I would like to see, and this isn't going to be the guy at the top, but the second signing, like a Shane Bieber. I think a Shane Bieber would be great. I 100%. Think he would fit right in that starting rotation. Stick him at number 3. Rogers at 2, and then whatever we got to do behind that, and get that top line guy. So we can sign one starter, one top line, and then Bieber. I think I would be thrilled to death.
But John, the funny thing with that though, and you make that's I completely forgot about him, was he could be, because he came off this end of the year when he came back from his Tom John surgery and whatnot. You're getting kind of like I'm just getting ramped up version of Bieber. Next year, this could end up being the best signing that any team made. So I think Toronto will be down for that. I think Cleveland would probably be down for that again to try to bring him back. I'm hoping the Orioles are in on that as well. But to me, that's an important one too. So that's a good point, John.
The only reliever, Jason, who's would be, at top of the line closer would be Diaz from the Mets. He has an option to opt out of the Mets, but I'm sure he's going to fetch a pretty penny, and we don't want to bring Tommy Trumpet in, or whatever they call him.
I love that song though. I love his entry song.
You know what? If we had a producer, he probably could have pulled that up and played that song after you said it.
You are the producer, John. You are
That's
the
right.
producer. Mike and
That's
I
right.
are just here to flap our gums.
That's right.
Where we're not pretty useful in other stuff. But
Because you old.
we are old. We are very old. We don't want to do with technology. Like I have this Apple computer and I don't even know what it does. All I know is my phone information pops up on it all the time, and it's whatever. I don't need it, but I have it. Yeah, so I mean, it should be very interesting. I think that they have to get in on the pitching market, but I'm going to pound the desk that they cannot forget a big bat. They have to be in there for whoever they identify. Is it Schwarber? Because you need veteran leadership too. Is it Tucker, Schwarber, Bregman? Those are my top guys. They're also everyone else's top guys. So I say this again, they have to prove that they can go out and compete with the big boys in signing free agents. And they got to get one of those. Pete Alonso, I mean, I like Pete Alonso. I like the idea, but I don't see it as far as being a good fit. But then they have other moves to make. Like I talked about this one, Harrison Bader. Like that's one that I'm intrigued by to be like your fourth outfielder. I mean, he killed it for the Phillies. So I don't know. There's a lot of, we have many months to discuss this, but I want to hit the ground running. I want to get a manager and I want to run with it. So that's all I have for you. Is there anything else you want to add?
Nothing.
All right. Well, it is my turn to play ballpark figures. And you say it is an Orioles ballpark figure?
Yes. And this list has has 19 people on it because some of these people come up twice or three times or four times. All-time home run leaders for the Orioles in a single season.
Okay.
In a single season. So there's 1, 2, 3 are individual, 4 has 2, 6 through 9 has 1, 10 has 4. Same guy did it a couple times. 14 has 2, and then 16 has 4.
Okay.
But like I said, these people will appear on the list multiple times.
And there are some guys, I'm thinking of one guy specifically that goes back before 1966, correct?
One guy. Only one is before. No, two. Well, 2 are old school, and then all the other ones are new school. Are 90 or newer. 2 are before 90. All the rest are 90 or newer.
So, Brady Anderson.
Brady Anderson is number 2 with 50.
Chris Davis.
Chris Davis is on this list at number 1. At number 1, tied for number 4, 1 with 53, tied for number 4 with 47, and then tied with number 14 with 38.
Mark Trumbo.
Trumbo is tied for number 4 with Davis with 47.
Frank Robinson.
Let me see here.
I thought he did
Frank Robinson.
40.
Yes, Frank Robinson is number 3 with 49.
Well, you already scrolled down the bottom of the list or something?
Yeah, I did. I was putting an X by every time Chris Davis was on this freaking list.
I'm wondering if the old guy, and I might use a strike here, but is the old guy Jim Gentile?
Jim Gentile is number 6 with 46.
Is he the oldest? Is that the one?
Yes, that's the oldest. Then there's one other old guy, and then everybody's 95 or newer.
Okay. Rafael Palmeiro.
Palmeiro was on this list like 98 he hit 43, 95 he hit 39. He was consistent. He hit 39 in 95 and 96, and then he hit 38 in 97.
Okay. Eddie Murray.
Eddie Murray, let's see, is strike 1.
Ooh. See, that was a stretch. I didn't want to use him.
Yeah, that was a stretch.
Nelson Cruz.
Nelson Cruz is by his lonesome with 40. I guess it's number 9 on this. Well, number 9 on the list.
How
By
many
his
more guys do
lonesome.
I have to guess? How many have I gotten so far?
You have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 more guys.
I've only guessed
One of
6.
them is on the list multiple times, and then the other ones are on here once.
I've only guessed 6 guys.
Chris Davis, Brady Anderson, Frank Robinson, Chris Davis and Mark Trumbo, Jim Gentile, and Nelson Cruz.
And Rafael Palmeiro.
And Rafael Palmeiro, yes.
That's 8.
That's 8. That's 8 people. Yes.
So I have 2 more, right? Or do I have to get?
Well, no, you just gotta. There's a bunch tied.
Oh, okay, got it.
There's a bunch tied. There's 19 people on this list, but there's a bunch tied down the list. One is very recent.
Adam Jones.
Adam Jones is not on this list.
I didn't think so. I don't know why.
37 is the magic number.
Okay.
It's the least amount of homers.
All right.
There's one very recent, and then a bunch. There's 2
Gunnar
very
Henderson.
recent. Yes, Gunnar Henderson is one.
And Anthony Santander.
Yes, that is another one.
Okay, so I've already gone past 10 now.
Yes, yes.
All right.
So there's so if you want to keep going, there's one
Okay.
old guy. He was on the other list, and then 2 new guys.
All right, one old guy. When you say old guy, are we talking 80s, 70s?
60s and 70s. 60s and 70s.
Boog Powell.
Yes, Boog Powell was on this list twice. 64, he hit 39, and he hit 37 in 1969.
Okay. 30.
One is an active Oriole, one was traded to the Dodgers, and one was a third baseman for the Orioles.
Manny Machado.
Manny Machado, 2016, hit 37.
And let's see, who else is on this team? He's an active Oriole?
Yes, active Oriole. Hit 37.
I already said Gunnar Henderson.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you?
I said
Okay.
Gunnar Henderson and Anthony Santander.
Oh, okay. I must have missed the Gunnar Henderson. So the only other one is a third baseman from Arizona.
Oh, Mark Reynolds.
Yes, Mark Reynolds, 37. Oh, no, there's one more. One more, but I'll give it to you. It's Albert Bell. Albert Bell, Gunnar Henderson, Manny Machado, Boog Powell, and Mark Reynolds each hit 37.
John,
Chris Davis.
I flew by that with just 2 wrong. But
Yeah.
I only did the 1 wrong because I knew it wasn't Adam Jones. I don't know why I said it.
Well, Jason, I was trying to give you a good list, and I had to go through and take. Thankfully, this was the only list I didn't have to go through and take a bunch of people out, because I was going to say who has the highest batting average, the season batting average. But the problem is your first 80 people were all pre 1965. So George Sizzler's on that list.
Right.
So it would have taken me an hour. Melvin Mora has the highest batting average of any Oriole prior to 1954.
It's like 336 or something like that.
330, yeah, something like that. So I was not going to take. I'm sorry, I'll do that another day. But I was not going to take the time to go through and pick out all these people. So
I almost
sorry,
did that list. Yeah, I almost did that list.
Yeah, the batting average. So good job, Jason. I figured you would get that list.
Outstanding. Well, before we go, let's give these folks, in case they'll listen to us here on Facebook, let's give them some updates on some of these NFL games if my phone ever loads. Let's see what we got going on. The Giants have extended their lead over the Broncos 26-8. The Colts and the Chargers got a little closer. Chargers scored a little more, 38-24. The Colts are still on top. And let's see the other ones. The Dallas is pulling away from the Commanders, 34-15. And the Packers are pulled within 1. It's 20.
They tied. They tied
They
tied the
now.
Cardinals.
Okay.
Yes.
20-20. All I know is I've been sitting here and my phone has been blowing up with multiple Jonathan Taylor touchdown scores because I have him in several fantasy leagues.
13 carries, 72 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Holy moly. Yes,
Herbert's having a hell of a game, too. 26 for 39, 339 with 3 touchdowns.
Holy moly. Who is? Who is that?
Herbert.
Oh, yes, I have him in a couple Superflex leagues. Outstanding. Yeah, I'm in a match right now where it is 165 to 154, and I'm projected to get 184, and he's projected to get 178. So we'll see how that goes. I always end up playing these guys that haven't won, but they're having their best weeks against me.
Yeah, I am playing Robbie Boucher. He has 132 points, and I have 78. And I'm only projected. I didn't play Leggett from Carolina because he was questionable, and he comes up with 24 and a half.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have played him either, though, John. You have other options. Sometimes that happens,
Yeah.
But you did trade away your best player, though. You traded away freaking CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, but I needed some running backs. I have 2 running backs on the IR. I dropped one of them, and I held on to the other one. So there was no better running. There was no better running backs.
But you wanted my best receiver.
Yeah, for CeeDee Lamb.
For running backs.
Yeah, well, whatever. I've lost this season. I'm just throwing the towel. I'm going to suck for luck next year.
Oh, God. All right. Well, you do you, John. You do you. But I think that'll be it for us tonight.
Absolutely.
We'll be with you guys later this week. And also for for you folks that are big fans of the Baltimore Orioles, pardon me. You guys should go ahead and search on Apple Podcasts for Locked On Orioles if you haven't already done that. That's where we get a lot of our information from. Connor Newcomb does a great job with them. I will actually be on his show probably Tuesday or Wednesday it'll air. I'm going to be with him tomorrow evening, and we're going to discuss the O's and whatnot. But go ahead and download his Apple Podcasts or on Apple Podcasts or somewhere else so you can listen to his shows as well. John, did you want to take us home?
Absolutely. So you can thank you guys for listening and have a safe drive to work if you're listening to us on your morning or evening commute. Follow us on all social media, Crabcake_sports on X, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Bods, Crabcakes and Sports. Email us, dadbodscrabcakesandsports@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Love insight, any comments. Our friend Joe commented on our show tonight and was not very helpful. But you know what? We love it. He got 2 right, and so that's very helpful.
Joe, you did a great job. Don't listen to John.
And just watch our Facebook page and things, and we'll go live and make sure you follow us, like us on all social media and podcasting, Apple Podcast, Spotify, etc. Helps us spread the good news of Baltimore sports, dads, and crab cakes across the country and around the world. Jason, thanks a lot, my friend.
Have a good night. Adios.